Okay, listen, this might get a bit sweary, so if you are offended by profanity, I would probably fuck off now and go and find a nice stage that's talking about data or some shit like that. Okay, so you're going to hear a lot about bravery over the next couple of days, right? And you know, I'm all for it, but I think what we have to do is to work out context. So how are we all feeling, right? It's batshit out there. Culturally, politically, kind of like work-wise, industry-wise, everything just feels like it's a little bit hell in a handcart, right? But I promise you, one day we will look back at this and laugh. But not today. Because today is totally fucked. Which is why we're here, right? And this is what this whole kind of like, you know, this whole few days is about, right? And the title of this is kind of like, Be Less Boring. Yeah, this is how we're going to get out of the problems that we're in. This is how we're going to fight off AI. This is how we're going to get our clients to kind of, you know, to spend more and make brave work and all of this kind of stuff, right? This is exactly how we're going to like lean in. Right, we're going to be less boring. What we're going to do is we're going to do what we do best, but we're going to do more of it, right? More swagger, more rock stars. We're going to be more brave. Fucking hate that word, right? Because this is not my first rodeo, and I've probably got knickers and older than most people in this audience. And I have come up through the era of the brave creative. Yeah, the one that was kind of like front of the queue when Supreme were having a sample sale. It's all about them, you know, this kind of shit. You know, but I learned a lot from who I would consider is a very brave creative, and that was Niels Leonard. So Niels, a couple of years ago, was doing a talk on bravery. You know, look at me, I've just started my own business, yada, yada, yada. But in front of every successful, brave creative, there is a baller partner who tells it like it is. This is from Mrs. Niels Leonard, Charlotte. Niels, fuck off. Firemen get to talk about bravery. You sit in edit suites and make short films about cheese or some shit. You don't get to talk about bravery, right? And I am totally with her. So what about if we just started to think about being kind of less brave? What we're doing at the moment, 75%, I'm going to paraphrase a thing called the Havas Meaningful Brand Survey, right? If you want to know more about it, Mark Sunick will be talking about it on the Havas stage, right? But paraphrasing, today, 75% of brands disappeared overnight, consumers wouldn't give a shit, right? And that's us being brave. That's us kind of running towards a fire and kind of lighting up creativity. Also, people pay to avoid our work. People use ad blockers because the work that we're putting out there currently in our brave creative visions is getting in the way of stuff that they really want to enjoy and really want to see. So people are paying good money not to see the work we put out. And if they can't afford that, we've become a tax on the poor. So if you don't want to pay for an ad blocker, you have to sit through the shit that we are putting out there until you can get to what you want to watch. So imagine, I mean, we're up there with bankers and estate agents in terms of kind of like a career that people want to get into, right? So even though we're brave, and even though we're running towards a fire, and even though we've got creative titles, and you know, and those titles are getting more and more, president, you know, vice president, chief creative officer, all the C's, no pun intended, something is not working, right? And that just may be us. So let's try something different instead. Let's ignore what's written on your lanyard. Let's ignore what's written on all of the T-shirts around this place. Let's be more boring. right? Let's get out of the way. As creatives, let's just move to the side and let's just see what is going on. Let's be the quiet one in the room, right? Let's listen. It doesn't mean you're going to lose your sun lounger at Shoreditch House. It doesn't mean that you can't wear Carhartt even though you haven't done a day's graft in your life, right? All of those kind of trappings, knock yourself out, but get out of your own way. Let's be less about us and more about we. Let's stop stealing from culture. Let's get in it, feel it, listen, and make it together, right? I don't know if you've seen this documentary. It is fucking brilliant, right? This woman was Elon, not that one, this one, right? Elon Speck was one of the first women on Madison Avenue, and she literally shunned all of that kind of Mad Men bullshit, but she wrote the line, "You're worth it," right? And she says, it's about humans, it's not about advertising. It's about caring for people, because either we're all worth it or no one is worth it. She is a fucking baller. She's just died at 87. Watch it. It's the best 45 minutes you're going to see this year. So let's take a bit of her, right? And let's see how we can be the most boring people in the room. So here's a few tips on how to embrace your inner bore, geek, nerd, or anorak. Let's talk less and listen more. Let's get out of our own way. I mean, it's ironic that I'm on here talking to you. But seriously, go out, meet the people that you're engaging with, meet the people that you're writing comms for, get into conversations. Let's stop being broadcast. Oh, it's all about us. And let's start having proper conversations. Stay in. Stay in, ad blockers off, and watch telly. Watch terrestrial telly, watch Easters, watch Corrie. Those things have been going for 25 years, and yes, it's the same people that keep coming in and out, and yes, I've had a bit more work, so they look younger than when you watched it, but there is something about those stories that have lasted longer than the majority of campaigns that we have all worked on. But take the ad blockers off and just see how annoying the stuff that we are putting out there is. Listen to music. Again, ad blockers off. See how annoying those ads are. And when they get into, they get in your way. And make them better. Make them unskippable. Yeah? And we can only do that if we know our customer really, really well. We know where they hang out. We know what they're doing. We are part of them. And that's it. Get out of London. We are not the be-all and end-all, right? It is not about us. Yeah, there's a whole country, world out there that don't need us because they're doing their own thing. Wherever you go, you will find pockets of entrepreneurship, like people just making the best of what they've got and really kind of like doing it without our kind of help. So let's get over ourselves and get out into the real world. And let's get out of our own arse and into the real world. This industry needs fresh talent more than that talent needs us. Right? So if you are in the position of hiring, or if you are mentoring, right, literally lean in and try to get why should they come to us, right? It's not, we've got nice biscuits in reception. We've got aircon. I can't actually think of that's probably the most important thing at the moment. But literally, bring them in because we really need. I know DE&I is falling off the edge of a cliff. It cannot do that in this industry, else we will be dead in white man water, and nobody wants that. Stop making work for us. I fucking love this industry, but I don't want to make work for it, right? So let's stop blowing up LinkedIn with that little kind of social post that you think should have had more eyes on it, and then entering it for best use of 6-second social. Fuck it. Get out there. Let's make work that you are proud of, that when you get in an Uber and somebody goes, what do? You don't tell them you're an A&E nurse. You tell them that you work in advertising and have you seen that work. Follow someone you hate. Get out of your own algorithm. Get out of your own echo chamber. It's really, you will get annoyed. You will literally want to set fire to the internet when you follow somebody who is a total twat. However, you get to see and read and feel what is actually going on the other side, right? It will really annoy you, but it's really important. And then finally-ish, embrace your inner Charlotte Leonard. Because I can always read this. I should have it on my wall. Nils, fuck off. Firemen get to talk about bravery. You sit in your edit suites, make short films about cheese or some shit. You don't get to talk about bravery. So in the course of the next couple of days, in the talks that you are going to, and everybody encouraging you to be less boring, listen to them. These guys have got some really interesting stuff to say, but at the back of your mind, remember, it's not about you, it's about we. And one of the ways that we can get out of the mire that we're in at the moment is to get out of our own way and be more boring. So, quickly, fuck off, go be boring, and let's go change the world. Oh. So I know nobody likes asking questions in places like this. I've got a really good tip from years and decades, fucking hell, it's decades ago when I used to work with Paul Smith and he would do talks. He would always bring a bag of something to give the first couple of questions just to kind of break the ice. So I'm going to overshare something really boring that I do. I've just started ceramics. And I'm shit at it. But I've got these little things, these little bowls. That one says shit. That one says tit. That one says twat. And I've only bought them so I can say twat on stage, I'll be perfectly honest. And that one says fucky, which I think is a word I've made up. So, 4 questions. Each gets a choice of little bowl. So I'll swap a sweary bowl for a question. Is that a deal? Right. Who wants shit? Oh, first, look at that, hand straight up. What's your question?
Are we using the app or are we using the mic or are we? But you put your hand up, so I'm going to give you my mic and you can ask a question that way.
Hello, hi, hello everyone. So we know you don't like the word bravery.
Yes.
But what creative leaders and business leaders and brand leaders should have more courage to do?
So, courage and bravery are 2 different things. So, okay, me and you are going to go shopping, right? And I'm going to come out, you're going to come out of the changing room wearing a baller of an outfit, right? And I'm going to go, fuck, that's really brave. What are you going to do? You're going to go straight back in and change, right? Because you're like, shit, I don't want to do that. You could come out in the same outfit, AKA you can be a client, and I'm going to go, you know what? That actually isn't something that I would have put you in. But you know what? There's something right about that. I think you've made a really right choice because we're going to go out and we want to stand out, and that will be the right choice for you. Question? No, I'm kidding. There's a difference between selling brave work and selling right work, even though that work is exactly the same, right? In this current climate that we find ourselves in, a lot of clients may not want to be brave, but they certainly want to be right. So our job as leaders, as creators, as people that sell work, is to get your client onto the side of right and not onto the side of brave. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Cool. Right, what would you like? Shit, tit, fucky, or twat?
Shit, please.
There you go. Any questions on the app?
Yeah, we've got a few questions here. So I'll go with an early one from Phil Eves first, who said, I 100% agree with your approach, but it sounds like it will take quite a bit of time. How do you balance this with the obsession for short-term results and getting the next campaign out the door?
Oh, good question. That deserves a twat, fucky or tit. You start now. You start now. Actually, to be perfectly honest, with the onslaught of technology, social, those kind of like opportunities to create conversations and not just put stuff out, it's never been more immediate to get your point of view or your work out there. So start now. You know, I know years ago stuff used to disappear into the ether. Research for years and years and years and years and years, and you never got it back, and when you did get it back, you didn't recognize it or you couldn't remember it. We're a lot more kind of current now, so just start when you get home. Have a bath first, because it's really hot, and then start when you get home.
Where
right,
is
Phil, where are you?
You need to give you a gift, Phil.
What would you like? Isn't this good?
It is.
This is audience participation,
So
sharing profanities with me.
And let's move on to the next question, which is from Claire Petzel, which is, who do you follow who you hate?
Oh.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
That is really good. I hate Coldplay. I'm sorry. I really can't bear that whinge it. So I follow Chris Martin. And I follow Coldplay. I follow Katie Hopkins. I hate myself for it, and I get wound up, just to get wound up. I follow a lot of people that I really dislike, and you know, my poor old algorithm is the worst for it. But I know what conversations are going out and on there without that. You know, I was so shocked about Brexit. Right, and I pride myself on being, you know, from Leicester and being in touch and da-da-da-da-da, but Brexit massively floored me. And I sort of realised that nobody in London really knows what the fuck is going on. So just get out there and follow. Claire, you're a client, so I feel really difficult about saying the word twat or tit to you. But which one would you like? That's you. You have twat or tit? You get, yeah, exactly.
One more question. Quick, well, perfect.
Okay, you've got twat left. One more. I should have made more.
One more question is going to be another one, which is from Lucy Salazar, which is, which brands do boring really well?
Oh, interesting. I think The Ordinary do boring really, really well. Right? I think they got out of the tropes of fashion advertising and beauty advertising and paying more money to celebs and then putting it all into their kind of like, all into their packaging and listening to what people wanted, because that industry is full of smoke and mirrors, right? And I know this, the shit I buy, right? Oh my God, oh look at that, oh, anti-aging, da-da-da-da. I used to write that copy, right? I know it's bullshit, right? But there's a little bit of me that wants to believe. And when they came out and just went, you know what? People just want the knowledge. People want to know what is in this and how is it going to work. And that kind of refreshing approach, not just, you know, on their comms, but the way that they've designed their products is a proper breath of fresh air for me.
Very good.
And that deserves a twat. Where is he? Where is she? Sorry.
Oh, perfect.
There you go, my darling.
There we go.
Thank you.
Well, I think we're probably at the end of the session now. So thank you, Lucy. And thank you very much, Vicki. Thank you for sharing.
Pleasure, darling.